gotta leave you alone, world. Gotta leave you alone. Yeah. Cause I've been on the edge for like 40 weeks, 40 days and 40 nights with little sleep. I won't take the pledge that I wouldn't speak. You know it's deep when they only peep how they count the sheep. Headed to the slaughter, they won't call them martyrs. Social media, most of them still chasing follows. They living for the day, forgot about tomorrow. What's the interest you paying up on the time you borrow?
What if the something you believe is the wrong part, and the stuff you don't believe is the right?
There might be going to hell then.
Hey, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. But why roll them dice? When they shoot dice?
Yeah, nah, then.
Why would you want to roll them type of dice?
Because I might just win.
You might lose too, though.
I'm just messing with
No,
you.
hey, but you might lose too, and we know with these type of dice, though, once you lose, ain't no picking back up. I got more money, but we talking about life here. So if you crap out,
Ain't nobody talking about give me these.
yeah, ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's time to really reevaluate the search for this real truth. We all know we ain't promised tomorrow. I rolled those dice. I found out that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true children of that book. And I found out we're in the position we're in because we quit keeping God's laws. And I also found out we must get back to them laws and have faith in His Son to get eternal life. That's the truth. Follow that? All praises. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to ask you, would your daddy be a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American?
My daddy.
A so-called black, a so-called Hispanic, or Native American? Okay, so-called black. So that means you would be the same seed that I am. Finding out them people are the chosen people of God. You ever wonder why is we in the position we in? If God just God that they paint us the picture to be, which is going to church, teaching us to love everybody cool, do what you want, just believe in His Son, everybody good. If that was all true, why did slavery happen to us? And why are we still in mental slavery now these days? Why is we still in the hand of our oppressors? Why is the so-called white man, these other nations above us? And it's just all love, we all supposed to be equal. Feel me?
So why is
I'm going to show you that. I'm glad you asked that. Deuteronomy 28:15.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15, and it reads, But it shall come to pass, if thou shalt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe.
Now right there, Salaki King. Now we got to give you some context for you before we can know what's going on. You know, when you're dealing with this Bible. You said you believe in some of it. Do you believe in the part, or do you know about when Moses came?
That was a joke.
Oh, okay. All right. All praise.
That was a joke.
Okay.
I want to see where you were at.
Okay, all praises. So now so now I believe you're familiar with Moses getting God's people out of Egypt, which is the Israelites. So we know when we're dealing with this book, especially in these first 5 books, what they call the Torah, we see Moses delivering laws to Israel. So we know in Deuteronomy, we know who he's speaking to. He's speaking to the Israelites that he got delivered out of Egypt. Now this is what he's telling the Israelites.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15, and it reads, But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken.
Now he's telling them it's going to come to pass. Moses telling the Israelites it's going to come to pass. If y'all don't listen, we know hearken means listen. If y'all don't hearken
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all His commandments and His statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Man, I'm going to ask you, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing?
You know it's a bad thing.
Okay, hey, we got God.
You know that's a bad thing.
All praises. So now we got Moses telling the Israelites, man, if you don't listen to these laws, hey, and do what God told you to do, all these curses going to come upon you and overtake you, Israel. Following that? Huh? Okay. All right. And now, let's see some of these curses, because we smart men up here. We know God speaking to the Israelites. We know everybody's still here this day. Right. You know, all these nations that God created is here this day. Now we know God got a chosen people, which is the Israelites, and He's telling us that they're going to have some curses on them before we can know who they is. Let me get 46 real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 46, and it reads, And they shall be upon thee.
Now this day is what we just read in 15, these curses.
Now we jump down to 46 where we can get some context. He said, hey, and they shall be upon thee
for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
You want a sign and wonder, who is these Israelites who is this seed that God delivered out of Egypt and told them they was a chosen people? Who is these people? You want a sign and wonder who he is, you got to go and get in these curses and line them up with the nations of people. Kind of simple, right? To know today, in 2021, who is God's chosen people? Like we say, how do you know you about to put up at McDonald's? You need that what? Look right there. What you need to know that's McDonald's?
Golden Rock.
What is that? What is it though? A sign, right? How do we know we putting up to the villa? We see that sign, we know there's the villa. So if you want to know the Israelites, we got to look at these curses as that sign to show us who is God's chosen people.
That's right.
Pretty simple. Now let's go through some curses, and I'm gonna help you. I mean, you gonna help me. Let's see. We know the nations of people here. We're gonna go in the process of elimination and see who is these Israelites. Who is this special people that God got? Let me get the first curse.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Curse shall us be in the city. God tell them, hey, we know they didn't listen. They broke the law. So curse in the city. Let's look around. Every city you go to, it's a place called the what? The ghetto. The hood. And who is in there? Let's see. No, come in. Come on. Come on. Now, let's see. Let's do a process of listening.
He breaking it down, ain't he? He said,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, now,
it's a so-called white man
is it possible,
in the hood.
Is it possible that today
Uh-huh.
that curse can be lifted off of just something?
Yes. And some of these curses is lifted off some of us, but we got to come back in reverse and do opposite of what we did to get under them curses. Now we read in 15, we broke the law to get under them curses. So now we come back to the law. That's how you can get out of some of them curses. But hold on real quick, because I want to finish this. But it said on that seed forever. So as a nation of people, we won't get that curse all the way lifted until Christ come back and save those people that return.
So we got to wait for Christ in order for the whole.
Yeah, for everything as a nation. Now you might get a couple singular people, but we're talking about a whole nation being in rulership, the Israelites being in that kingdom, ruling this earth righteously. Now you might get a couple people that, you feel me, like us. I'm gonna put an example like us. One of the curses is I.E., which we're just gonna take you there. I'm gonna just go ahead. One of the curses is I.E. towards our brother. That's a curse on our nation.
Yes,
And that's a real curse.
That's a deep curse.
That's a deep curse.
Deep
But with us finding that out and coming back to that law, every brother up here automatically love every Israelite they see.
That's right.
So that curse right now is lifted from us because just like you, we love you. We just found out that you're an Israelite. It's automatic love. If you need something, we got you. We appeal. We love you now. You feel me? So that curse is lifted, basically. You know what I'm saying? But we talking about as a whole nation of people.
As a whole nation, no.
It's not going to be that because it's still gangs. We can go down the street and find a gang right now. It's going to be people running up here talking about cuz and blood and folks and all that. It's still here on our nation. But that's why it's important for us to do what we're doing and you to come in and be with us and do what you're doing and build it and build it and build it. And we got Christ come back to give us that great word and put us in our rulership. You feel me? So we're going to go through a couple more curses. We did a curse in the city. Now, I asked you, is the so-called white man cursed in every city? So the so-called white man, when I go to the hood, it's mostly white people.
No.
So they not cursed in the city. Everywhere I go, when I go to the Ottawa Hills and the Stone Oaks, if I drive through there, I might get pulled over because I'm this color.
Right.
So they not cursed in the city.
So you don't think the white man has curses?
No, I asked, are they cursed in the city?
Oh, are they cursed?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, all praise. Now, is the so-called Arabic man cursed in the city? Okay, let me follow you. Okay.
Now, they're not cursed in their city, which is their neighborhood, right? But you still have some that's in our neighborhood that's also cursed.
Very few. It's a sprinkle.
We're
talking about a nation. Yeah, we're talking about a nation. You got to fit all these curses. We're talking about as a whole. He's talking about as a whole nation. You get some of them, we call them two-time losers. You get some of them. But it's a sprinkle. And it be so over sprinkle, they all got like the same nickname. Roach, white boy something. Yeah, that's white boy time. Because it ain't normal for them to be in the hood. And you know that. You know what I'm saying? We got to give them special nicknames. We got to give them special nicknames. You feel me? Because they not cursed as a nation. He talking about a nation of people. Now, So-called Arabics. When you go to the hoods, are they cursed in the city? The so-called Arabics, is they cursed in the city?
No.
Okay, that crossed them out. They can't be Israelites according to that. Now, is the so-called Chinese people cursed in the city? Hey, we got it.
Process of elimination.
We got to process of elimination. We got to make this. We got to figure this thing out. Yeah, check them off. Now, is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are they cursed in the city?
Very, very much.
Very much. So,
Very
boom.
much.
So, Bean, look, Bean, they fit this curse. That's God's chosen people, which is the Israelites. Now, let's read you something else.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28,
Okay.
verse 50. You want to finish
No, I
that
want
one?
to finish that.
Verse 1.
Read it
And
out.
it reads, "And cursed shall thou be in the field."
Now, you see, curse in the city, curse in the field. Let you get that.
Yeah, let me call you right back. Okay then. All right, good everything. All right.
Okay, we're going to try to speed it up. Curse in the field. Now, we just seen that. That's going to be on God's chosen people for that sign in that one on that seat. Curse in the field. Now, we going to process of elimination.
Oh, what are we all doing over here?
Okay. We got to keep, we
Got it
got to
right.
show them what's real.
You got it right.
You know what I'm saying? So we see that the so-called white man, was they cursed in the field, the sugar cane field, the cotton field, the tobacco field? Was they cursed? They had us in the fields. It ain't them. Was the so-called Arabics running around here in the fields like us? Was the so-called Chinese man in these fields, cursed in these fields? Who was cursed in these fields? The so-called black man.
Jewish.
And the so-called Native American. Yeah, and the fake Jews. Was they cursed in the field? Thanks for bringing that up. The people that's in our land right now saying that they the Israelites, saying they the Jews, do they fit the curse in the city and the curse in the field?
No.
Somebody's lying here, D.
That's right. That's right.
Somebody's lying here. We need to get down to it. Let's go to a couple more curses. Let me get let's show him 54. If we brought up the eye evil towards our brother, let's read it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54, and it reads,
Uh-huh.
"So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate."
That's how we're supposed to be tender among each other. Okay. Tender among each other, very delicate is basically like, hey man, anything my brother needs, man. If I'm riding down the street in this cold, I'm supposed to be pulling over like, man, you cool, you need a ride? Hey, if I'm sitting here, I see I'm behind you in line, you sitting here struggling, nah, I got your meal, don't worry about it. Tender among you, man, like how people say, give you the shirt off my back. That's how we was as brothers. That's how we supposed to be. That's how God made us to be that special people, to be powerful and teach people these laws. And
Not
we can't.
today.
Why?
though?
Why?
Not today.
Why? Because these curses.
It's a curse.
Okay.
Not today.
His eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
Eyes shall be evil towards his brother. Now we can look around as nations. We don't see that in no other nation. Is the so-called white man going through that? Is his eye evil towards his brother? Do the so-called white man be on the
road?
Do we?
No, I want you to hear what he's saying.
All praise.
All
All praise. Hey,
All
see,
praise.
see who I'm riding with?
All praises. Hey, that's good.
We
That's the most
can't judge it because he in the spirit right
Yeah,
now.
God,
See who
all
I'm
praises.
riding with?
All praises, but we go through the curses and see what nation of people lines up with these curses. We know the so-called white man don't fit that. We know the so-called Arabic man don't fit that. We know the so-called Chinese, the so-called East Indian man, and so on and so on. Even the African man, because that's a big misconception. We think we African. We not African. We Israelites. We the chosen people of God. We not from Ham. We from Shem.
That's right.
You feel me? So,
right.
and they don't fit these curses as a nation. They don't fit these curses. We fit these curses, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Like we say, we don't see the Ottawa Hills beefing with Stone Oaks. They ain't at the golf course fighting. You can't step on their shoe and they gonna have a sorry off. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We ain't like that. You step on my shoe, man, come on, bro. Like, you feel me? You stay 2 blocks away from me, I don't like you automatically. Let's do it, blood. Crip, man, what you want to do? That's a curse on our people the whole time. This been right here in this Bible, dead in our face. We sit here mind-boggling why we like this and blaming it on everybody but ourselves. We quit keeping the law, so we got these curses on us. Feel me? Let me get 2 more before you go. 48.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48, and it reads, "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee."
We see that. We're going to serve our enemies who the Lord though sent against us. Everybody want to act like man, the Lord sent these people against us.
That's
Let me
right.
pick that up too for me.
In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
Now in hunger, we don't own the grocery stores. We don't own all that. We serving our enemies in hunger and in thirst. Water supposed to be free, come down from the sky, but we don't own the water companies. We got to pay that. Everybody got a water bill. And in nakedness, even if you want to get your own clothing line, you got to get your material from your enemy. And guess what? You got to get an LLC before you even can sell that legally. You got to go do everything through them. Even when you own a house, man, you quit paying taxes, they're going to take that from you. How many thousands of dollars you paying for that? And want of all things, you will be serving your enemies because of this curse that the Most High put on his people.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Google yoke of iron. Only people going to pop up is these colored people.
Hey, that's right, brother, that's right.
Where we reading that from?
Right.
We in the Bible.
That's right.
This all biblical curses on God's chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we quit keeping that law.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Let me get one of the you know what I want, 68.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68. And it reads,
Bring it out.
and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now when we see, we already said, Egypt is synonymous with what? What was the Israelites doing in Egypt? Yeah, when Moses had to come get us, he told Pharaoh, let my people
They
go.
were in slavery.
All praises. All praises. So when you talk to an Israelite, it's kind of like how we use the term, I'm a debo you. We know it's a term debo, but we know it's synonymous with somebody taking something from you. So when you see Egypt, I'm going to bring you to Egypt again. That scared Israelites because we know we were slaves. So when the Lord says, I'm going to bring you to Egypt again, we see what throughout the Bible, every time he's saying Egypt, he called it the house of bondage, slavery. So the Lord telling us he's going to bring us to Egypt again, which is slavery, but this time it's going to be different. You know, we walked into slavery and walked up out of it. This time it's new slavery. He's going to do it like this.
With ships.
With ships.
That's right.
Who you know with the slavery on ships?
That's right.
Who you know? Wow.
Who you know with the slavery on ships?
That's right.
Wow, yeah.
Deep prophesied thousands of years ago in this very book.
With ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Our land.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies
We came here, we got sold to our enemies.
That's right.
for bondmen and bondwomen.
Bond man and bond woman, that means slavery. A bond man is a slave man, a bond woman is a slave woman. So there, we came here, got sold to our enemies, which is so-called white men. Now, we not saying don't beat them up. This is a spiritual warfare now because we put ourselves in slavery for real because we quit keeping the law. Now, our mission here ain't to power up and do no Black Panther stuff. Let's get AK-47s and try to take over the white man. That's not going to work. They already set up too high, $4 trillion worth of free labor. They got the armies, they got the military, man. We can all gather up right now in this area. They send a drone through, kill all of us. We talking about getting together. We got to get back to this law.
That's right.
That's what's got us in this position. So once we get back to these laws, it's a spiritual warfare. We'll crumble everything. We'll crumble that kingdom. You got to think, like bro was saying last night on the phone, it'd be to the point they had to fire all the police because there won't be no more black on black crime because we'll reverse that eye evil towards our brother.
That's right.
Because you would really fear the Lord. You'd be scared to hate your brother. You'd be scared to run down and kill your brother. Right now, ain't no fear. We kill our brother like that. It's nothing to kill our brother. Easy. But once we reverse these curses, we can break this kingdom down. You feel me? Just like today, the Sabbath day, mind on the Sabbath, defiling our temples, and just so on and so on. Our dietary law, everything that they run their kingdom off of is against the word of the Lord. And it's helped keep us down. Because at the end of the day, people don't know the people that's up. You gotta think the world is ran by the fake Jews. It's like 3 banks run this whole world. And they know who the real Jews. You can't steal an identity without knowing who the true identity goes to. So the people at top know, as long as they keep us down, they know that much. They keep us down, they stay in power.
So like, before you leave, I got one question for you. If the Bible is telling you that not keeping the commandments put us in the curses,
What should we do? What should we be doing now?
And the Bible tells us.
The Bible showed us that not keeping the commandments got us in this position. What should we start to do as a people?
Excuse me, y'all. Peace of y'all, man. All right, brother.
All praise.
All praise.
Simple, ain't it?
Gave you the key.
Gave you the key. Gave you the key, man. You know what I'm saying? As Israelites, and that's the key thing too, to know that when he's speaking these things, he ain't say, hey, Moses, tell this to the African Americans. Moses, tell this to the niggas. Moses, tell this to the colored people. No, he said, Moses, tell this to the Israelites. That's right. So that's our God-given nationality. You feel me? So somebody,
I like these guys.
if somebody ever asks you, what's your nationality, what you gonna tell them?
What's my nationality?
Yeah. What you gonna tell them?
Negro.
Let's go again. Is that in the Bible? Is Negro in the Bible?
I'm a Negro.
He playing with us. He playing with us. He playing with us, man. He
pull
playing with us.
pull that Zondervan out too.
Yeah. Grab that too. Grab that sound of the Bible dictionary. Grab it. Somebody grab that and go to hell. You ain't gonna call yourself. Hey, it's silly, man. We need you, man, to help build up this nation. Hey, you feel me? So we know that God gave us these nationalities, and people say they believe in the Bible. There's 18 nations, and can't nobody tell you who they is. That don't make sense. How we gonna believe in the Bible and see these nations, and we don't know who we are? And it's very important because he got a chosen nation, and he also said he hated nation of people.
Look what the scholars say about him.
Yeah, we're gonna go and listen. This from the Bible dictionary. These Bible scholars, this their job. To get in this Bible and figure some things out. Now we're gonna, because you know Noah had 3 sons. We're gonna show you about him.
Zondervan's Dictionary, page 213. Ham, by definition. Ham, perhaps hot, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
You know the progenitor is like the head, like he became the one that generated the dark races. But what?
Not the Negro.
But not the Negroes. Hold on. He became the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Hold on. But who?
But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
All the so-called African nations, but even the Bible scholars say, hey, you Negroes that's here right now, y'all not them. Because who we is, we the Israelites.
That's right.
He ain't my granddaddy.
No, damn, ain't your granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? He became the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Even the so-called white man, even the Bible scholar that's so-called white, tell us that much info. He letting us know, like, hey, man, y'all not African. Because that's what nothing they told us. Africans show Africans. No, the Africans show the Israelites.
That's right.
The Africans show the true people of God, which makes sense anyways when you think about it. We talking about African warriors, some white-skinned people coming, talking about give us your people. Man, it's going to be an all-out war. And we done been here 400 years, and you ain't seen a boat, a plane, or nothing that say, come on back home, people. Man, Africans kicking and doing their own thing right now. They're not worried about us because they not us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
You ever seen an African person fit the curses that he brought out to you? That in the hood and all of that?
They don't fit that. We don't go to the hood and see a lot of minute bowls.
Never really bring up the point about the
See?
auction. About the auction.
Now
They
you
never
hit me
sold
with that.
African Americans
Huh?
on the auction block.
Right.
On the auction block, it never said African Americans.
What
it
did it
said
say?
Negroes.
Negroes. All the
Never said
signs always
African at all.
Say Negroes for sale.
Negroes for sale.
They never say Africans for sale.
And then it's something to look up to, a thing called Negro land, and it had the tribe of Judah and certain things over there. And it's another history fact too we're gonna bring out real quick.
The book of From Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor, page 84, and it reads, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governor of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slavery markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
That's true history. You can look up when they came and took over our land, which is Jerusalem. We sit right on the continent of Africa. When they came and took it over, we fled straight to Africa. You see, throughout the Bible days, we blended in with the Egyptians. Because we is all melanated people, but we just that chosen people, different from the melanated other people. You feel me? We all fled to North Africa, then migrated to West Africa, and that's where the slave trade happened. We migrated there 1 million deep and got to doing our thing. I think, we multiplied. So we chilled there for a while, multiplied. And when the slave thing came, look at the Africans like, it's a deal to be made. We can sell these Israelites to these white people and make some money. And the Arab slave, the sub-Saharan slave trade as well.
The Arab had us first.
Yeah, the Arab had us first.
Baby daddy!
It's deep, man.
Baby daddy!
Oh, yeah, give him a flyer, my name, Brother Cyrus.
Dante in the car. Remember Dante?
Oh, okay. But we want a number, but we can call too. No, that's good to get. We got our YouTube channel. Somebody get the number, man. Just change numbers. We got our O.F.I.
We're going to do the regular, because we know we do our Sabbath calls and we do our conference calls. Hold that real quick.
I want to lock that up. I'm getting in there.
Yeah, okay. All praises. All praises.
Wake him up.
All
Wake him
praises.
up.
All
Hey, you ain't gonna be talking about ministry no more. You be talking about ministry. He's fine.
Joe Key.
Proud of him.
Israelite. King. God shows people. Praise. That's when I do my application. All praise, man. Definitely. And this all prophesied in the Bible too, as well. God's chosen people waking up. You know what I'm saying?
And this everything we speak, we're going to be able to back up with scripture, because that's how we got to live. We shouldn't be able to just be saying stuff and people take our word for it. We got to prove all things like the Bible says. The Bible says prove all things, so we need to be proving all things with these scriptures and the word of God. And like Peter said in Acts 5:29, we ought to be God rather than man. Show thyself approved. You know what I'm saying? So we got to
talk about that.
No,
What was he talking about when he said study to show thyself approved? What scriptures was he talking about?
I don't know right off the top of my head.
What scriptures did they have during the Bible days?
He's basically saying in the so-called New Testament, when Paul and everybody was teaching, what can they be teaching from?
the so-called Old Testament. These are scriptures. They're telling you to go and study the Word of God from the Torah and the Tanakh, from the prophets, Moses. We need to study these to make sure everything line up. And that's another thing that they did with Christianity. They came and tried to put Paul and try to study on the so-called Old.
That's what they had back then. What do you think Paul was teaching out of? He wasn't walking around with a letter to the Corinthians.
Yeah.
When he wrote the letter to the Corinthians. You're not walking around with it like this is the book of Corinthians.
Oh, praise.
You talking about the what?
Old Testament.
Oh, that's the spirit. Hey, that's the spirit.
There's too much going on in the New Testament. That ain't lining up.
No, that's because you don't.
That's
know how
because
to-
we got to learn how to make it line up in the understanding. And at the end of the day, we got to say it. Because, hey, the Bible even proves it. Sometimes Paul just put a little off sometimes. And Paul even tell you out his own mouth. In the Bible, he tell you in the Bible, I speak this of me, not a commandment. Sometimes Paul just gives you good advice. You know what I'm saying? But that's why in Acts 21, when you go home and read that, you see James and them had to rebuke Paul. Like, hey man, do this Nazarite vow. You got to show these people the Jews ready to kill you. They think you teaching against the law. And that's what Christianity picked up and trying to make Paul do. They're trying to make it say, Paul said you can eat what you want. Paul said you can do what you want. Paul said, and that's why you seeing like, this ain't lining up to what God said. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's split up and kill you. Yeah, all praises, man.
But if it wasn't for the Old Testament,
We want to know that. Exactly.
The old what qualifies everything. The old qualifies everything.
Everything. And you got to think God telling us this all the way back to Leviticus. telling us, he telling the children of Israel already, like, hey man, this is what I want y'all to do. Because we was given that law, we're supposed to be a light to the rest of the nations in the kingdom. Okay. Okay, all praises, man. Lord willing, man, we build up, hey, and you be one of the mighty elders out here teaching this word with us. That's how we got to build a nation, man. We started off just a couple brothers. Look at it now. And then when you look all around the world, though, it's Israelites waking up knowing who they is on all these street corners. Any city you go to, you're going to find some Israelites on that street corner knowing who they is teaching this word. It's all prophesied, even like Daniel said, in latter days, the knowledge will decrease. That's what we're doing now. We waking up. Because, you know, we discontinue from our heritage. Look at Jeremiah 17:4. All these things is prophesied on us, but then at the end of the day, the Lord also showed us, like, hey, it's on y'all, but it's going to come a time when y'all get to waking up. Knowing who y'all is and come back to me. I can be y'all God and y'all can be my people again. You know what I'm saying?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4, and it reads, "And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies, in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger."
That's because we kindled that fire in this anger. We the ones who keeping the law made God angry. We said, hey, I'm going to make y'all discontinue from y'all heritage, man. I'm gonna wipe your mind out, and that's why we came here. Everything is prophesied in the Bible, just like we showed you, even all the way down to the slave trade. Everybody else know their heritage. Ishmael and them know their heritage. These people know they got the year of the rat. Everybody got a heritage. We the only people got to gravitate to other people's heritage. Our people the only one like, well, they doing Christmas, we gonna do Christmas. Hey, they said 1776 is 4th of July. We gonna celebrate 4th of July, but we were slaves in 1776. You know what I'm saying? But we're the only people that's got to hold on to somebody else's heritage and just jump in and make ourselves fit in. Like, hey, well, we with y'all. But our whole true heritage is right here. Our holy days, our feast days, Passovers, Feast of Tabernacles, where we just keep Purim, the Sabbath day every Saturday. We got a whole heritage right here. And a lot of people learn off us anyway and just twist it up. Because even if they come down to wash our body, that's all they get, man. People learn that from us. And that's why our Bible everywhere. That's why it's the most selling book in the world. It's just the doctrines is off there.
And it's a known fact that the doctors used to, in the maternal ward, right? They used to have all the pregnant women in there, and they used to be delivering babies. And the babies, 30% of the babies would die. You know why? Because they wasn't washing their hands. Then when they figured out how to wash their hands, they wasn't washing their hands right. They were just dipping their hand in a bowl of water. They put some type of little chlorine or bleach in there. That lowered the percent a little bit, but until they start washing their hands in running water, it was over with. But we commanded to wash in running water before we even come to do a sacrifice, before anything. We was commanded to be pure. That's why we don't deal with mixed linen. That's why we don't deal with mingled seeds. That's why we don't deal with other nations. Because we're totally set apart. Minister.
Oh, great. One more precept before you go.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, and verse 12, and it reads, "And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good."
That's what's going to help us. That's what's going to get us back. Keeping that law, man. Love y'all brothers, man. Okay, I'm about to text you right now. Love y'all brothers, man. Y'all be safe.
Keep up that good work, brother.
Man, thank you, King. All praises, all praises.
Holy convocation, link up with my righteous brothers all across the nation. We got Israel in the building, shout out to my Haitians. Armor on my body, keep me safe from fornication. Got my holy sword, I pull it out to cut up Satan. Kept his ways the same, so Jacob's seeds won't be forsaken.